Audio check 1 2. Audio check 1 2 3. 3 2 1. Hey guys, AJ Town here, live with the T Storm Chasers, ready to bring you the latest weather and news information on this major winter storm that is starting to move through the Dakotas and into the Minnesota, Iowa, and other areas of the country. As we do start to break things down, we'll let you know hour by hour when things will start to wrap up, when things will start, snow totals, everything like that. We'll explain it as best as we can, so hang on to your hats. We got a little rough ride coming ahead, and unfortunately you got this guy to listen to. I take about a half hour, but I do explain quite a bit of this storm system, break things down for you guys, so then you're able to understand it a lot better than just saying, hey, guys, here's the latest news, weather, and information. 30 seconds, go. So hang on with me just for a little bit, and we'll have some fun with this. I do have my chat up on here too, so I can certainly see you guys' questions and everything like that. We'll try to get to those and any other information that we have. Now, as we start to break down this winter storm, as it starts to progress its way eastward and starts to wrap around and continue to bring us some snow conditions that are prompting some winter weather advisories, blizzard warnings, and a winter storm warning is in effect for a lot of the area as well. So as that does occur, we will certainly explain that and let you guys know why. So again, we have this low pressure system that is moving through the Dakotas and in through Nebraska that is pushing eastward. Now, this is a very slow moving low pressure system. As you can see, it barely even moved within 12 hours of that shift there. So that low pressure system then does, give me a minute there to, that low pressure system does push off to the east, but that does continue that hurricane effect and bring us a wraparound chance of seeing some of these snow showers pushing through the area. They're coming about that lunch hour with this latest European model is showing the heavier bands to the north of the Sioux Falls area and north of the Sioux Falls area there. You can see right there in that red is what we are looking at. There's Sioux Falls. We do have just a little bit of a darker system there, so that's going to be a heavier, darker system with that. So we do have, again, at the bottom of our screen here, we do have a list of schools that have been closed for the area. I do see, like, Del Rapids didn't show up correctly, and I certainly do apologize there. Not sure what happened with that, but anyways, so again, jumping back into this, we do see those heavier bands that are bringing our chances of seeing some snow right about that lunch hour. I think I do know what happened. Give me just a second, see if I can fix that here. This is why it does take me just a little bit to do things, because I do things live and I want to bring you the latest information. All right, let's see if that worked. Anyways, jumping back into this, Sioux Falls has not closed, just to let everybody know. I don't anticipate on seeing Sioux Falls closing. It does not give me my whole entire list, so that is really weird on my scrolling text. So there's my issue, is it is not bringing my whole entire text. Anyways, all right, sorry. Certainly do apologize there. Anyways, looking back at this map here, it's not giving my whole entire text, so that's certainly going to bug me. But anyways, jumping back into this, we are looking at some of these heavier bands of snows that are pushing through right around the lunchtime hour, according to the European model. That is sticking around there for a little bit there. You can see right through there, those heavier bands of snow pushing through. That's when we're going to see the grunt of this system is going to be after that lunch hour is what we are going to see. So we are continuing to monitor this as that does come through. The European model showing about that lunch hour is when that does come through. Guys, get your hats on. You're all going to hate me, and I certainly do apologize to say this. But guys, we are watching another winter storm system. This winter storm system has been dominant on the European model. As we have seen that, you can see it right now. This starts pushing through the area on Wednesday. This will not be, good news is though, it will not be as prolonged as what the this system is that we are watching. This will quickly push out of the area, lasting us about a day is about all. We are watching another low pressure system out west right over here. We're watching another low pressure system that's going to be moving eastward and bring us another chance here come into Christmas Eve there of seeing another storm system. That one I'm not confident as on, so definitely take that with a grain of salt. However, we do have this one that is more of a confidence that we're starting to see the signs of this one is going to be really ramping up. So it is another winter storm that we are watching that is starting to show its signs on our latest. It's been here about the last day to maybe day and a half of model runs. We've been seeing this sign. Many of you are like, dude, what's the snow total? What are we looking at? So here is the latest snow total conditions. You can see there's Sioux Falls right there for those of you who are wondering. Pierre, Aberdeen, Yankton down here. You can see right through here is where our greater snow totals are going to be. This is on top of what has already been on the ground. So for the Sioux Falls area, we are looking right around that 3 to 6 inch mark. You can see how much of a shift it would take for this to increase the snow totals. Not much. I do mean by that, I do mean not much, literally. Let me see here. Oops. I do apologize there. It refreshed on me. Let's measure this here. So there is Sioux Falls. 19 miles is all it's going to take is a 19-mile shift. So even a 10-mile shift eastward will bring snow totals a little heavier. Things that are also on our radar. Ha 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 ha. Those of you that got the weather joke there. So, as we are starting to watch, we'll see these winds is what is also going to be a concern here. We can see some of these. Now, these are sustained winds. These are not wind gusts. Sustained winds, 30 to 35 miles an hour. Central portions of South Dakota. Actually, let me get a different color. You can see these heavier indications of wind speeds are going to be in South Dakota. These are right around 30 to 35 miles an hour sustained winds. These are not wind gusts. You can even see FSD area there is looking at between 20 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds come about that 18 Zulu, about that 6 o'clock time frame. You can definitely see these winds are really increasing right around that 20 to 25 miles upwards to the 30 mile an hour mark is what we are seeing with these sustained winds. These are not wind gusts. These are sustained winds. Now, as we look at wind gusts, we do see those continue right along the South Dakota-Nebraska border of between 40 to 50 miles an hour is what we are seeing of wind gusts. Now, again, we can see right through the central portions there. We do see these wind gusts are really starting to creep up near that 50 miles an hour of wind gust. And then you can see for the Sioux Falls area there, about that 40 miles an hour is what we are looking at for wind gust. Now, these are not sustained winds or anything. These are wind gusts. So we are definitely looking at a very strong wind gust. As we take a look at our live radar right now, we do see that there is some showers pushing through the area. We do see some signatures pushing through. I believe that's Highway 37 that it's pushing through. As that pushes through that area there, we are seeing... Sorry, I have a tablet that sits right beside me and has my feet up, and it pauses every now and then. And when that pause, I'm like, guys, I'm paused. So certainly do apologize. We can see some of these. Let me get my marker up here. We can see right through there, and right through there is showing those bands of snow. Well, let me zoom in. But as we look at this one here, we can see these heavier bands north of the Mitchell area, south of the Huron area, south of Westington Springs. This will continue to wrap around like that. So this is something that we are watching. Is this is how we're going to get our snow. Now, many of you are wondering about these. We do have a lot of advisories and warnings out too across the area. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect that is for the Sioux Falls area, basically until 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then as we go in, we have a blizzard warning there. That is in effect. Winter storm warning is in effect. All that area in purple, a lot of part of the northern portion of the central or northern portion of the U.S. there is under some sort of winter weather advisory or alert. Let's take a look at our latest HRR model run here. Get to that screen. As we take a look at that latest one here, watch this system. As you guys can see, it really still shows it wrapping around, bringing this next line of moisture in. Basically about 8 in the morning is what we are looking at for this latest moisture pushing through the area I-29 corridor. We do see those heavier bands there to the northeast of the Sioux Falls area as we continued to put those in motion there. You can see those stick around in the Minnesota area. We do have those heavier band, about 1250 pushing through the Brookings area, Watertown area there. We do expect to see the interstate remain closed for tomorrow. I would be surprised if they don't open it until Monday or Friday. That's just simply, though, our opinion. That is not factual information. But we do see, again, snow sticking around, finally moving out of the area about that 10, 11 o'clock time frame, and starting just to really die off. And then as we go through the day on Friday, we see things really clear off and out of the area. So good news is we are looking at it out of here at Friday. But we do definitely have those snow chances that we are seeing. As we take a look at our latest HRRR model run. Now these are snow totals on top of what is already out there. So that being said, we are seeing snow totals again that are already substantial. We've seen substantial amount of snowfalls. Let me see if I can pull that up quick, actually. All right, I got that pulled up. So these are snow totals that are already out there. They are already on the ground. As we do take a look at the latest National Weather Service map here, we can see that some of this area is already sustained 15 inches of snow. Pierre area, 11 inches, 14 inches there by Highmore, 12 Seneca. I know I just butchered that, and I certainly do apologize. But look at some of these snow totals, guys. 25 inches of snow by Norris. So if we take a look at Norris is Highway 83 there, right? We are looking at an additional 2 inches of snow on top of this. So we could see an additional 2 inches of snow on top of that area. So they're looking at almost 30 inches of snow as this system pushed through and is doing the wraparound effect. You can see right along Tyndall, 2 inches. Gregory area there, just south of Gregory, 4 inches. Chamberlain area, 4.5 inches. Just west of Chamberlain, near Reliance, South Dakota, we're looking at 9. Vivian, 15 inches. And then as we go up into the Watertown area, Aberdeen area, 4.5. Just north of Aberdeen, 7, 6, 9. Folkton, 11. Highmore. So definitely going to see some of the snow totals reach upwards to 30 inches of snow with this. So that being said, again, as we took a quick look at the latest on that, as we're dealing with the snow down up here, down south, down in Alabama, Florida, we are seeing tornado watch in effect for that area. They do have some severe weather that is pushing through. I've been seeing Facebook pictures and everything from a lot of friends that are storm chasers that absolutely devastation went through the New Orleans area. So definitely looking at some devastation in that area. So here's the latest from the National Weather Service. We could see that anyways, sorry, I'm reading some of the chats and it's I saw the one I don't hear. So that was like I had to wait for my earpiece to catch up. Anyways, this is the latest from the National Weather Service. 2 to 4 inches is an additional what they are saying for the Sioux Falls area. You can see out by the Platte area 4 to 6. These are an additional snow totals on top of what's there. I would not be surprised to see some ground blizzard-like conditions as we come into tomorrow. Because look at these wind speeds according to the National Weather Service. We are seeing wind speeds again upwards between that 35 to 40 miles an hour. Some areas, Lake Andes, can see upwards to 50. Anyways, we are seeing a lot of that wind speeds with this is going to be a extremely strong wind speed. So definitely going to be some strong winds pushing through, which is going to create ground-like blizzards. Speaking of ground-like blizzards, let's take a quick look at power outages across the area. As we take a look at the Excel one, we don't see much. As we take a look at the national map here, we are seeing down in Louisiana and Alabama is going to be where our major outages are. So we head back home here to South Dakota. Give this a brief second to load here. About 260 customers is all without power. This is the area that has received the most amount of snow, and we are seeing some power outages in that area. Dual County did have some earlier, and they still don't have everybody back online. Lincoln County has none, Minnehaha County has none, Turner none, McCook none, Moody none. Now, a lot of you I saw in that chat as we look back in our chat, some of you were talking about a white Christmas. Here's a look at the national map of the snow depth. As we take a look at the snow depth, we are seeing that some of those areas will be brown in Nebraska, but much of the northern portions of the country, we do see that it will be a white Christmas in some shape or form. Let's go back home. Let's zoom back into home here. As we zoom back into home, we can see that there is roughly about 4 inches of snow on the ground for Sioux Falls area, and that is going to be going into Christmas Eve. Christmas Day is what we are looking at for snow depth. This is how deep the snow is going to be about that time. We have definitely seen these models change, and we'll continue to watch these change. Precipitation outlook, as we take a look at the latest from the Norman, Oklahoma, we do see that from the precipitation outlook, we're leaning towards being above average for this time of year. And unfortunately, folks, as we look at our temperature outlook for the next 8 to 14 days, we're going to be way below, or we're going to be below normal, is what we are seeing. So we are looking at some colder air. As we take even a look at your 7-day forecast there, we do see that after the storm system pushes out of the area, we do see that this storm system will bring the cold air behind it. So we are definitely seeing some cold air behind it. And as we get ready for that, let's take a quick look at your latest road reports across the area. We'll start with the city of Sioux Falls here. Kind of take a quick little peek here, see how current road conditions are. Let me get my tabs refreshed just so I can bring you guys the latest as we are bringing up the Sioux Falls ones. We can see much of the road conditions just appear to be wet across the Sioux Falls main city area there. So that is a good news there as we get ready to have this snowstorm start impacting the area. There is a look at your latest. You can see the DOT cameras. Some of those do just look wet. I-90, what is that? East of Sioux Falls, mile marker 402 does look a little slick there. So we take a quick look at your Iowa road conditions. We're only seeing by the Spencer area there a little bit of partially covered snow. As we take a look at your Minnesota camera, or Minnesota road network, there we are seeing, again, partially covered snow throughout there. So we take a look at our South Dakota back home. We do see much of no travel advised. A lot of no travel advised across the state of South Dakota. We do see up in northeastern portions of South Dakota, no travel advised. I-29 is closed. I-29 is closed west of Mitchell, all the way up into the Rapid City area there. However, all this area is no travel advised as well. You can see all the red here of all this no travel advisory is in effect. So lots of no travel advisory. Back home, we are seeing scattered ice and slippery conditions for much of the area. We do see between Mitchell and Hartford there. We are seeing frost, ice, and slippery road conditions for the I-90. Salem, I believe that's Highway 38. We are seeing some of that as well. So definitely some slick road conditions as we go into the overnight hours. We definitely will see these road conditions deteriorate also throughout tomorrow. As we take a look at our Nebraska road conditions, we are seeing completely covered snow. We are seeing, let's see, by Valentine there, we are seeing some impassable snow conditions as well. As you do look back around the Omaha area there are completely covered snow as well. Highway 81 completely covered just north of the Norfolk, Nebraska area there. You can see much road closures also in effect. You can see all that. There looks like highway, or actually Interstate 80 is actually closed in Nebraska too. So, real quick, for those of you that are jumping back on and joining us here, wondering what is going on and when are we supposed to start seeing the snow, let's start that back here. This is starting at 11 o'clock there. We do see some of this wrap around here. We do see some isolated chances pushing through. We do see some of these stronger bands, Mitchell, Huron area there. As we go through the overnight hours, we do see that linger and stay around. We do see the system push out of Minnesota as that wraparound effect does occur. Bring us our next snow chances about that 7, 8 o'clock time frame. That'll stick on throughout the day. And then by about that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock time frame, things will start to winder down. As things start to wind down, we are going to be dealing with the winds that are going to be about those 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gust. Sustained winds about that 20 to 30 miles an hour. So definitely some winds are going to be pushing through, creating reduced visibility, blizzard-like conditions, ground blizzards. This is going to be a very interesting storm system as it pushes back around and loops back around. You thought the ice was bad. Unfortunately, folks, this is going to be just as bad. So, that being said, have a plan. We do expect to see more road closures. We do expect to see some conditions deteriorate. I do anticipate I-90 remaining closed. I do anticipate I-29 actually coming closed north of Brookings. Wouldn't surprise me to see that happen between Brookings and Watertown. It is already closed Watertown to the North Dakota border. So we definitely will see some of that. As we do take a quick look back again, let's take a look at your advisories real quick. We do have winter storm warnings in effect, winter weather advisory, and blizzard warnings in effect. So, that being said, looking at the HRRR latest snow totals, you can see about that 3-inch for the Sioux Falls area on top of what we've already got. And then anywhere between, an additional 6 inches in some areas, an additional 4 inches in some areas, and everything else like that. So, that being said, we are going to see a strong snowstorm system come into play tomorrow. So definitely have a plan. Would not be surprised to see more schools closed. So we will continue to monitor the weather, bring you guys the latest news, weather, and school closings. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a fantastic night, and we'll be back.